They said it was waste. The oil, the tears, the silence I gave him, when I could have shouted back the faith that didn't win applause, the love that went unnoticed, the prayers that looked like nothing but cost me everything. They called it too much, too messy, too emotional, too soft, too strange. But I knew what they did, the flame sees differently. So I fed it with what they threw away, with the bits of me they said were broken, with the gifts they didn't value, because they weren't shining with the loyalty they called foolish. I poured it out, my time, my voice, my presence, my history, all of it, even the parts they mocked, especially the parts they mocked, 'cause I wasn't offering it to them, I was offering it to God. I gave him what they said had no use, stories with too much pain, songs with no stage, longings that never found answers, tears I was told to hide, kindness I offered when they gave me none in return. I gave him the love I kept buried because the world said it wouldn't make me strong. I gave him the rage I didn't know how to voice, the grief that came without language, the questions I whispered at 2 a.m. when faith felt thin and he took it all. Trash is treasure, not with scorn but with honor. He made flame from fragments, he made light from leftovers. I remembered Mary breaking the jar in a room full of critics, and Jesus saying, "Leave her alone." I remembered the widow giving her last coin, and Jesus saying she gave more than all of them. I remembered the boy with the loaf, small in his hands but enough in his. So I brought what I had, even when it felt like not enough, even when they called it waste. Because love is never wasted, because worship doesn't require approval, because God doesn't need polish, He desires truth. So I fed the fire with stories too raw for pulpits, with poems too wild for doctrine, with love songs they never let me sing in church. And the fire didn't spit it back, it burned brighter. I laid it down, my whole self, without wrapping, without bow, without needing them to understand. And the flame answered, not with applause but with presence, not with reward but with rest. He called it holy, He called it enough, He called it mine. So I keep feeding the fire with what the world dismisses, 'cause I've seen what it does with the offerings they call waste.